Hi, I'm Kerri Butler, owner and principal wedding consultant for Touch of Bliss. I wanted to take this chance to show you this beautiful office space that we're so lucky to work in Lower Denver. This is my desk in the area that I work in. And back here is Bridget. She's one of my assistants. Hi. Over here is our inspiration board. These are a few examples of the weddings that we're putting together this season for our special couples. This helps us design a cohesive look to their event and make sure that their color palette and Pantones are consistent and working with all of their creative vendors together. Our responsibility is to the bride and groom and making sure their day runs smoothly. Let's see what we're doing on time here. We're at 12:08. We should see the limo in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I think it definitely takes a certain personality type to be a wedding planner. It's not here, so I'll have to call the limo company. Okay, back up to groom suite. People are under a great deal of stress that they probably never experienced in their life at that point. I was just calling to check on the status. We're awaiting a limo that should have been here about 10 minutes ago.
Should be there.
Yep, it should. Emotions are running really high. It's a very emotional day, and there's so much money being spent on that day. So there's a lot of variables in the air that are happening. What is this? Are you bleeding? Check your hands.
That was not on there a second ago.
It wasn't? And you're sure you're not bleeding? There's always seems to be someone bleeding at a wedding. Sometimes we can find the source of the problem. Sometimes there just seems to be blood, but we have all kinds of solutions for those kinds of scenarios. Wow, that's really bizarre. Okay, I'm gonna try and oxy it out real quick. Yep, completely crazy. I've been planning weddings for 12 years. It's actually my 12th year as an ACPWC certified wedding professional. And I think couples hire a Touch of Bliss because we're the goofiest, the most fun planners. And couples feel like they can relax with us. We're the only planners that make a wedding party dance at a rehearsal. And we like to get down like that. So that's probably why we're so busy. I describe our style as definitely outside the box, you know, upside down and inside out. Couples come to us when they want to do something really different and have a lot of fun doing it because it's a wedding, for gosh sakes. Like, it shouldn't be painful for anyone. We're probably going to be the last planners on television screaming at anybody, but we definitely don't like to hear the word no. So we work around that word. When we want to hang floral chandeliers from the ceiling and they don't really have a ceiling, we will build one. So things like that, that's definitely probably our signature, I would say, for our weddings. I haven't counted how many weddings I've done, but you know, last September I tried to kind of tally, and it's definitely over 200, maybe 250, somewhere in that area, if I had to guess. We plan weddings, a lot of weddings locally. We're so lucky to be a destination now here in Colorado. So a lot of couples are from out of state and they're coming here and they're planning their wedding. But we plan weddings all over the world. France and UK, Ireland, Bahamas, Mexico, Hawaii. We go where the couples want us to go and have a lot of fun doing it. We definitely save a lot of things that are happening at weddings, and I would say there's always some sort of drama happening at a wedding. People bleeding, people missing, people drinking. It's just a whole lot of emotion and everything's happening that day. I would say that probably the one that comes to mind that was the most dramatic recently is we had a wedding in Dallas a couple years ago where the gown was a big piece of the wedding. It was this fabulous couture verwang, and you know, the bride was all about the dress, the wedding was all about the dress. We had oodles of fittings, and we have a rule in the bridal suite that there are no red wines or sodas allowed, brown sodas allowed into the bridal suite for this very reason. We had a bridesmaid who definitely liked to cocktail, and we were kind of keeping our eye on her anyway. We had an issue with the flowers. We had to run downstairs. While we were gone, this bridesmaid in particular had brought in a glass of red wine and spilled the entire thing down the back of this $25,000 Verwang gown, which put everyone into complete panic attack. I took a look at the stain and thought, there's no amount of club soda that can throw at this Verwang, and oh my gosh, if she found out about this, it would be horrible, that I can fix the stain with. So I ran out really quickly and bought some raw silk, which was sort of as close as I could get to what the fabric was happening in the back of the dress. We delayed the ceremony 30 minutes, and then I basted an antique faux double French bustle into the back of her dress to kind of give it that voluminous poof
thing that the bottom of her gown was doing in order to just cover the stain, because there was no way I was going to be able to get it out. It was just this massive stain. And you know, I had to call the makeup artist back because the bride had cried so much her face was poofy, and it was just a disaster. The bridesmaid was like banned. I mean, it was a whole lot of drama. So anyway, we sent her down the aisle. She looked lovely. I don't think anyone knew the difference except for the bride and everyone else who's experienced the drama. I thought it looked quite nice for my, you know, Vera, of course, would completely freak if she found out about it. But, but besides that, you know, we definitely saved the day there, and the bride was never happier. And, you know, I'm not sure that she's BFF with the bridesmaid anymore, but, but we definitely saved the day there. We definitely have some amazing and unique weddings that we are planning this season. Some that come to mind, we have a few same-sex couples, one in particular this season that their wedding theme is a feast and a promise. And just a beautiful couple, and the details into their wedding are very farm to table, rustic, but very elegant. You know, all of the things that we're eating that evening are coming from the farm that they're getting married on. Things like that. Those details are really, really important. And, you know, we've got some very over-the-top weddings that we're planning, you know, in Aspen and those sorts of things that have really fun details, laser inscribed wood invitations. And we're planning a very fun wedding at the Art Museum next year for a bride and groom who want to do something very outside the box. So we're going to be doing things like acrylic chairs and flowers hanging from the ceilings, and really unique interactive art pieces that are part of their wedding. So those are a few examples of what it is that we're planning. Some of the most unique weddings that we've planned, we do a lot of really diverse, interesting weddings, like, you know, Native American, East Indian, Korean, all kinds of different cultures and religions, or a lot of fusions where we're merging two cultures or religions together. One that we planned in particular very early on in my career in San Francisco was really a very over-the-top Indian wedding, and the groom was insistent that he ride an elephant down the streets of Nob Hill for his sign of fertility in the Hindu culture. So I just decided, you know, like I said, I don't really choose to hear the word no. So I went to city council meetings for 6 months and applied for this permit, because who was going to tell me that I couldn't have an elephant coming down Nob Hill? No one. So I kept going to the city council meetings, and honestly, I think they gave me the permit because they were just tired of hearing from me. And we had this permit. We got the white elephant that he wanted from Barnum and Bailey, Ringling Brothers in the East Bay. Brought him across to San Francisco, and you know, that groom walked down the streets of Nob Hill on an elephant. Only in San Francisco would they allow something so fun and outside the box, but we definitely love to help couples with unique requests like that. The strange and unusual factors when it comes into play when planning a wedding are definitely the people involved. There's so much money and so much emotion and stress that is being spent on this one day that most people have not experienced up into their life at that point. And we are trying to help facilitate it, manage it, make it fun for everyone, and make sure everyone's pampered. Some of the personalities that come out during the planning process and on wedding day are, you know, hard to manage, or we generally bear the brunt of it as the planners. But we understand with patience that we are just that they are under so much stress, and we're just trying to make sure that everyone's having a wonderful time, that the bride and groom flows the way that they want it to happen, and that their dreams are coming true. And everyone else, we just hope that, you know, we can facilitate the day so that they're having the most enjoyable experience. But definitely there's a lot of family drama that's involved in that, that we try to help the bride and groom through as much as we possibly can.